about to do some live coding. Let's pull this bad boy up. It is me. Where am I? It's me. Down here? What is happening? Super weird crop, everyone. Hang on. Ah, there we go. It's me. It's Tuesday. Oh, geez, it broke again. There we go. It's Tuesday, which means we're live coding, which means hopefully, hey, look, that kind of worked. We're about to do some goodness with Gymnasium. I am Mike Fulco. I'm the technical director at Gymnasium. I just had a heck of a time getting my stream going. I was trying to use a new bit of software I found, which would let me use my nicer camera as a webcam. That crashed and burned, with wonderful efficiency. Absolutely ruined my computer for a bit there. But we're back, and so we're gonna do some Gymnasium stuff. And so what are we doing today? Well, we're gonna work on continuing integration of Chakra UI into some of the stuff on the front end. We should be making some more progress on new bits of interface. So the goal is to make our new site look like this one. We have a couple of things to do there. We might tackle this secondary nav bar today. I can pull them up side by side, actually, can't I? There's one, there's the other. You can see the hero we haven't tackled. That's a moving target, so it hasn't been much need to do that. But there's a few things I want to do today. I think I want to play with this a bit to get some alignment stuff going. Looks like we have some work to do to make these guys look like they should. I lost the top padding there, which we can get back into place. And we might explore this missing tab here as well, which is missing from a couple of parts of the interface here. You'll see there's one above Find Work. This section is missing it, and how Gymnasium works is missing it as well. So we might work on that today too. Just as well, while we're doing that, I want to show off some of the stuff in Gatsby that we've been able to take advantage of. If I get some extra time, I will pop through some of the newer things I was learning the other day. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So this is Gymnasium on GitHub, of course. We're working on the Gym front end project. And there's a security vulnerability. We'll probably get that buttoned up with this pull request as well. I just pushed a fresh commit to this branch. If you're playing along at home, that commit has updated dependencies on it. So I remembered for once that tends to take a long time when I do it on stream, and so I did it without you. But you've seen me do that before with Yarn and NPM. We're using Yarn for this project, though. Okay, so let's get back to it. So I want to recap what we did last week. We were working on steadily removing imports of Bootstrap here and there from our project, while also working with animations in Chakra, as well as some of the effects we've got. We worked on this animation for let me pull that interface back up. These guys here have a subtle animation on them. I hope that comes across on the stream. When they're hovered, the text on this item shifts over to the right, and you'll see an arrow appears here as I hover through them. That might be a better way to look at it. So we grabbed that animation and implemented it here. I've kind of thought about this a bit over the course of the week. It's not... Here's the thing. This is not an ideal way to do this animation, but I think that because animations are used sparingly, and because I believe that we could tackle all of this, like everything that makes this animation fly, if we needed to repeat it, it would be easy to abstract this into something that's repeatable. I think because of all that, I'm okay with this animation. If I was working on a project that was heavier into animation and If we were going to do lots of interactive things like this, I might be a little more hesitant about it, only because the major issue I have with this animation syntax is that it's not as straightforward as the rest of sort of Chakra's value prop, where essentially you write your component and you pass in whatever CSS rules you want as property equals value, property equals value, property equals value all the way through, with the added benefit of having access to JavaScript stuff. What happens when you use this hover thing is that this goes from just being blank equals blank to blank colon blank, and sometimes you need to do extra quotes and stuff like that. I guess that would be the same on either side. And so really what I'm saying is that for someone who's not a experienced JavaScript developer on some level, the context shift of its equals here and its colons here is a little weird and hard to get used to. So I don't really love that. But, I fiddled with it a little bit and was trying to find better ways to do it. And near as I can tell, this is sort of the only way to get this done in Chakra. So I'm going to leave it for now and have decided that that's going to be reasonable for us. We may, change that decision in the future. But that's where it lies right now. And I think it's an interesting discussion and definitely something that will be open for debate as we work on this stuff moving forward. In particular, because I think it's useful to question all of your assumptions as you work on this stuff. Software development is a moving target. Things break, things change without you even realizing it. Like these buttons having changed is something that I didn't anticipate. So let's start by fixing that, because that looks like it'll be really easy. So featured course. Here we go. Here's our featured course. I'm going to close all the other things I've got open, just because that's a context switch and it's nice to have just what I'm working on open. I'm going to zoom in also one more time to make this just a little bit bigger for y'all to see. I'll shrink this down because we don't need it currently. I'm going to open the CSS module for this guy. And so we're looking for the button in here, which is going to be this button, learn more, right? They all say learn more on them. Yeah, and it looks like the button itself, the CTA maybe, used to have a padding, and it doesn't any longer. A pattern or margin top, something like that. Give it a second to refresh. It's possible that didn't work. Looks like it did not indeed work. We might have some flex or grid stuff going on here too. Worth considering. So there's our CTA. Indeed, that's what we were just working with. Oh, no. What happened was I misspelled the property. Margin dash top 1. Should probably do a better job when it's spelled correctly. I think that's a pretty well known thing about CSS. Yeah, and immediately those look nicer and more balanced. I'm curious if I pull up the other site though. Yeah, it looks like there should be above this dotted line a similar gap. So let's work on that too. That would be the workplace here, or the instructor. Let's see if that makes it look a little better. Let's look for that in here. That will be the footer. We got this guy. Oh. Nope, I put the spacing in the wrong place, didn't I? So let's look for that border. Border bottom, margin bottom. I think I want padding. I didn't realize the border was on that. Makes sense though. There we go. A little bit of box model off the top of the dome piece there. Okay. Nice and easy. Making sure I've got everything all set up here. Usually I remember to check the chat and things like that as I go. Yeah, nice. Okay, so let's commit that. We'll call that a display bug. Bug fix featured course display. We'll add that change, commit that change. And now what we could do if we wanted to, does this use any Bootstrap stuff? No, actually this doesn't. This is all pure CSS. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty nice. We could swap that over to, oh, what am I looking for? Chakra, but I don't think we need to in this case. I mean, if we were starting from scratch, it would be good to do that, but there's nothing in here that is Chakra specific. What we might look at though is the featured course container, the section, because this is probably done with CSS grid or with a flex box, which we could certainly do. How do we do it? It's a grid. Yeah, so this is probably worth showing. The grid tools in Chakra are really nice and really responsive and quite good. So I think for the sake of demonstration here, we'll do exactly that. And in fact, there is some Bootstrap stuff going on here too, which we might be able to lift out as well. But I'm going to start in here by changing this featured course display to be a simple grid. So, yeah, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to build an identical one right up above it. And then we'll get rid of the old one. So, to do that, we need to import some stuff from Chakra. So we'll do import simple grid from Chakra UI core, I believe. And then here we're going to do simple grid rows equals, and we'll do 1, 2, 2, 4. I think that'll do it. And then inside of the grid, we're going to more or less copy this. And this can now just be a div, or actually we could probably get away with just this, because the featured course will render something there. We're gonna have to plumb that key back in. That's okay, we can do that. What are we chatting about here? Missing key prop, yeah. Okay. Oops, it's course dot underscore ID, as we see down here. Okay, so did that do it? If I hit save, do we now have 2 of those? Maybe not. There should be, yeah, okay, there's 2 of them there, but I must have forgotten some syntax here. Oh, it's to like template areas or something like that. Columns 2, spacing 10. Columns, I did columns and not rows, everyone. Easy enough. This way is columns. I knew that. Okay, and there's also a thing for spacing. So we're going to also import use theme, and we're going to grab our theme. And we're going to say spacing equals theme.spacing. I think that's how it works. Oh, let's pull it up. Theme typography, font weights, font sizes, spacing, theme.space dot theme.space 1. Like that. That should put some space in there. Maybe. Give it a second. Give it a second. Oop. Yeah, okay. Little space there. Not enough. We'll go to 3. There we go. That looks a little nicer. That's ever so slightly bigger than it was before, but I think that leaves us some room to breathe. And so now what we just did is we got rid of all of this mess and replaced it with much less in the way of lines. And we can also get rid of this with another thing called a stack. A stack is shorthand for a vertical flex box that has some spacing in between things. So we can say stack and /stack, and in there I'm going to copy and paste exactly what's here, which is a bit of microcopy and a button. We might not even need this, so I'm going to get rid of that. I think that'll do it. So now we should have 2 of these. Excuse me, I pointed at my screen. 2 of these. Okay. By default, each item is stacked vertically. Stack clones its children and passes the spacing to them using margin bottom or margin right. That's great. So we need to give this thing a max width, which we can do. Let's look at how the max width is defined here. What did we do? So the max width looks like we say equals, and here's where we define an array of things. Sorry, let me respond to a text real quick. So what we're going to put here is our maximum width. So we're going to say 100%. We're going to say 10 out of 12, okay, which is what this is. And we're going to do margin left equals auto, margin right equals auto, and I think that'll do it. Did that do anything? Let's see if I can find those rules. This one. Nope. Yes, this one. Max, oh, it was overridden. Okay. So let's look at responsive styles. Oh, I just need to put in, that's not a string there, that is a number. Let's see. Who? Oh. Okay, that's not that's not what I thought. use that in pixels. That's interesting. Let's try just width instead of max width. Still learning here. There we go. That's great. We do need to get a little more vertical spacing there. So let's go look at our stack again. Stack spacing equals. Great, 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 great. I see, I'm overriding these styles in here somewhere. That's all right, we'll let that be for now. But we do want to indent this guy. And to do that, indent, center. We want to center this, and to do that we need to center this, which we can do with a box. Margin equals auto. Like that, and then we need to import the box here. There we go. So, what did we just do? We replaced a bunch of bootstrappy stuff, all this, with two Chakra components, I suppose. In terms of amount of code, that really wasn't much of a gain, to be honest, but it does remove the need for bootstrap in one more place, which is will eventually reduce page weight, which is really cool. That's great. And so let's see. Yeah, and we can even leave these classes in here. This isn't hurting anything. We don't do this anymore. We don't need this. Right? Featured courses, UL and ULLI are gone. View courses prompt we still have, that is this. So we got rid of a bunch of CSS too, that's kind of nice. And we fixed that display bug, and I should test just to be sure, but we also made, we made this grid here responsive, right? If I change the size on this, so we go down to 2 from 4. It is interesting that they're not even width things. In fact, maybe I want to add one more. No, I think I like these breakpoints here. Yeah, I don't quite understand why this is so tall. Is there a min height set somewhere? There might be. I bet there is actually. So what happens if I get rid of that rule? I see. So that might be a use for subgrid in the future. Shoot. Oh, and even this isn't great because I'm using... So this should be min height. This should be done in pixels. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we're going to change that to pixels because we just saw that that didn't work. And that 500 isn't going to work when this thing shrinks down either. Yeah, see, now these guys get taller. That's okay. That's okay. Let's start there, and maybe we'll come up with a more elegant solution at some point. Justin, that could be a fun one for us to work on together. I would be very curious to see how you would sort through that kind of a problem. Okay, so Chakra. We'll commit that. All right. So here's our next challenge. Let's do the tabs on the home page. Why not? We're going to look at how they work on the existing site, which is over here. And we're going to make this look like this. So grab the old inspector. Let's also locate that home page in our source code here. Eventually, come on. The plight of streaming is how slow it makes every computer. Okay. Pages, index will be our home page. Really, it might be nicer to make this say home page, huh? So, an interesting thing about React and Gatsby, I'm not sure if this is a React thing or a Gatsby thing, but the name you pick here will show up in the component inspector. Actually, that would make this a React thing. So let me show you. If I pull up my Gatsby site and I open up my browser tools, slow and steady, and I go to, right, this was happening the other day too. For some reason, I don't get the dev tools in here. What's going on with that? React developer tools, yes? Oh, it sees it now, okay. Ooh, and I got an error somewhere. Okay, right. We need to pass that key through. That's good, I'm glad we got there. Featured course also needs to accept a key. There we go, and I should probably do a if course return null here. Let this thing refresh. Please refresh. Come on. Ooh, we still have a bug. Featured course section. Oh, well. Let's try again. Grab a quick refresh here. So based on that, I'm actually not even clear if I need to pass that key prop through or whether React is smart enough to do that for me. Drat. Featured course key is not a prop, trying to access it. Ah, okay. That's great. I didn't know that's how it works. Learn something every day. So you don't actually have to worry about the key prop inside of the child component, which makes a lot of sense, because then every component you write would need that. Yep, sorry. So now it's back, and with any luck, we don't have any browser warnings. Oops. Yeah, okay. Ooh, well, I hit refresh again. That's good. So we can push that little bug fix up. That was cool. I learned something there, which is always good. Bug fix key prop. Did I change anything here? Oh yeah. Not that. We want to push these. And while we're in here, that was a small change. I should show it off because I haven't actually gotten that yet. Index page, home page. Okay, so let's look at that. So if I pull up the React components and I come in here, somewhere in here it should say index page or home page now. Yeah, there we go. So that probably used to say index page. It's more straightforward to think of this as the home page for the mental model I've got. So I'm going to do that. We don't need to change the name of the file. It just has to be the thing that file is exporting. Hope that makes some sense. Lovely, lovely. Okay. Now, and by the way, if you're keeping score at home, again, what's going on with that? I don't know why all these typefaces changed. I don't get that one. They all changed? You lost me there. How do I look at the history here? What did we just do? That's really weird. So it's possible that this did that. I have a real hard time believing it. Certainly wasn't that. Or this key. Those should not have affected that. That's a height thing. If it's anywhere, it's in here, right? Just some sizing stuff. We did change some CSS stuff, But none of this is font family. What about in here? No. Okay. We're gonna just try and restart Gatsby and see if that clears it up here. We can close this. Maybe my internet connection went down. You are not seeing this, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Let the thing build while I, check my email. I'm waiting too. Sorry. Let's get this thing. Very curious to see if this works. Maybe a little troubled that has to be a part of my dev experience. But, you live and you learn. Anything goes in Gatsby world. This feels like one of those things that's taking longer because I'm streaming. It definitely is that. Is alright. That's cool, this message changed. Ooh. This is taking so long. Oh, come on. Well, while I'm staring at it, it looks like this would be easy to get rid of. That would remove, let's do that while we're in here. Import box from Chakra UI/core. And instead of a row and a column and all that confusion, we're going to do box. We're going to say width equals, and this is another 10 out of 12. 100%, then 10 out of 12. And we're going to say margin equals auto. And actually, maybe that should be inside of find work because nothing else manages its own layout here. But okay. Is it running? Yes. Let's click this. Freak out on me. There we go. Find work still looks the same. But the fonts are gone again. What is happening? I don't understand that. I'd be very curious to see if I push this up to CI, if I would see the same thing there. Everything has changed. Maybe it's the web font that we're using. Maybe that link is bad all of a sudden. It's certainly pointing to the right font. And that font comes from... It's an asset that we have. It's a web font, and it must not be getting through, right? Somewhere in here, I have it set up. No. Maybe it's in here. Okay, well, what the heck? Web font loader. Yeah, it's a typekit font, so this must not be coming through. Let's check the network tab. Oh yeah, what's that? No, that's just polling. Let's give this thing a full refresh and look for typekit. Well, it's there. So something has gone awry with this plugin? Okay, well, that's, you know what, I'm gonna ignore that for now. That's very annoying. Annoying that it would go foul. While I was streaming too. Super weird, like it was working at one point. My face cam seems super framey today. Yeah, sorry about that, Josh. Everything kind of seems a little lagged on this machine, and I don't understand why. Oh, it's very framey. Look at that. Maybe I can kill it and bring it back. Let's try. Maybe it's because I have it dragged partially off screen. We'll try a bunch of things here. Man, it is very unhappy though. How's the audio? Oh, jeez. Oh no. Okay. Audio's fine. Facecam sucks. Yeah, that's real bad. I can't even edit it. I can't go in and change any of the properties on it. Resolution, let's down res. This might break everything. I think I might have just broken something. Sorry if I did. Okay, that's smaller. Maybe that's a little better. Tough to say. It still looks a little choppy to me. Funniest thing about this is that I didn't, well, as always, I didn't touch that either. Setting up a Streamlabs to stream always is an adventure. OBS of any flavor always is an adventure. Super weird. Okay, well, let's maybe press on. I wonder what's doing this socket.io ping. Like, who's that coming from? And what is this long ass? Hold up. I'd like to know more about that. This might be one of those Gatsby tooling things where they're watching my environment or whatever. I don't know, and I wish I could resize anything in here. What is going on here? Who's doing this? Polling. Block request domain. Nope, we don't want to do that. That's probably the WebSocket to my dev environment, to the hot reloader, or maybe to WSL. Either way, let's be happy with what we've got. Okay. So we're gonna ignore the typefaces. Sorry about that. I'll have to investigate, particularly if that's not happening on CI, or if it is happening on CI. We want to now take a look through. Man, I'm so disheveled now. Okay, what's next here? Oh, the tabs. We're working on the tabs, everyone. That's all right. I'm not too messed up, am I? We're going to inspect this tab. It is a before on the H1 we have here, which now we know how to do. So we'll grab that. We might not be using... I suppose this would be the H1 on this page, and these guys are H2s. I suppose. Yeah, and it's a really simple rule, right? Like, we can stretch it out probably with this. The header itself has some goodness set here. Header tab. There's lots going on here. So there's a few things happening in concert which make this work. And we can figure that out. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's see about getting there. So, first things first, let's find this in the code, which will be actually probably a little tricky to do. We know it's going to be in how it works. We've got a header here and some CSS. Drag that over there. Do we have any of that stuff done? We do, but it seems like it's appearing in the wrong place. Oh, no, not necessarily. So let's see what happens if we move this up a bit. Okay. It is not all there. let's make sure at least some of this lines up. So we've got up here our header before bit. Inline block, width, height, content, line height, padding right, padding left, border right, border left. I believe that's what does the diagonal. Box sizing, border box, vertical line top, position relative, Z index 100. What about the position for this guy? So, displayed block. Okay, we've got that. Text align center. Border bottom. That ain't it either. Does it? Oh, hey, this is missing. Okay, that's great. Not great, but header, tab, display, table, right? And then content, a space. Oh, that's the containers before, not the headers before. Ah, man, that's tricky to read. I should have known that though, so I think we can safely ignore that. Oh no, okay. So there's something that container's doing which is important here too. Let's see. Tricky. So let's look at all this. So what's missing here? So we have display is missing. We are missing font size and line height. I think we can ignore for the time being. Margin top, -1 em. Text align center. I think that means we can get rid of this. For sure what I'm missing here is where the header tab defines its background color. Or maybe that's a border. Maybe that's the catch, right? H1 before, H2 before. Oh, man. Is it as simple as specifying the correct syntax? To be honest with you, I forget what the difference between the two is. But we're going to find out. Okay, well that changed it. Trying to see if anything's missing here. However, it does not seem to be. Position, relative, no, we got that. We got the z-index. Mm-hmm. We don't have this. Home container. Let's try that. Just for giggles, no. There it is. There it is. Okay. Now we're on to something. I was missing two things. In that tab, a color, and a border bottom. It's the wrong color. We can fix that. Lovely. Okay. Let's swap this back to an H1 because we saw we're going to run into some rule problems there. We know we don't need this text center, which is good. Change that, excuse me, to an H1 before. We'll drop those two rules in there. And we're also going to no, we're just going to do dot header tab. And we'll get those, we'll get the variable names in place in a moment. I just want to get this working as it should. What did I forget? I don't think I forgot anything, actually. Oh, is that still an H2? It is. I gotta save this. Okay. What do we got now? We're gonna have to fuss with the alignment a bit here in a moment. Coming together. There's some optimization that needs to happen. I think these need to go in a specific order. color do anything? I don't think so. It doesn't seem to do anything. Do we have any H2 rules still in here? It's possible I do. I do. Need that. Something so simple takes a bit of finesse. And I forgot my inline block on the H1, right? Does that do it? No. We're missing inline block and we're missing margin top. Ah, nailed it. Okay. Give this a refresh. Get my latest stuff going here. I broke it again. Hooray! What did I forget this time? It really do be that way sometimes. Oop. It refreshed. Come on. These stubborn tabs. Okay. I have. How it works H1. Did I not save this? Why is that not showing up there? Oh. That's silly of me. That is that one. That goes there. Yep. And the funny thing is, I know how little it took to get this working a minute ago. Okay, all right. This is getting less funny to me. Okay, we have our H1. Let's look at what's going on there. Margin top, -1M. That should be an M. Good. Display. Inline block. Text transform uppercase is already there. Font weight is fine. Text align. Center. Well, we know that one should be M and not rem. And why is it not centered is now my new question. Centered under the tab. The header probably needs a text-align center. Yes, okay. Let's get that going. Please, please, please. Is that it? Did we do it? Fingers crossed. Okay. Nice. We have a tab appearing. We need to work on that alignment next. That alignment is coming from the container on the index page. I think we can do without. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We got a tab, a bit of a challenge with some spacing and stuff there, and we have to update the content within. I believe Chakra has some nice responsive grid type stuff. Let's pull that up again. You know what, honestly, what we could do here for now is import a container from React Bootstrap. Don't worry, it gets better. Don't worry, don't worry. So that puts it back in there. We have some text-align challenges to deal with. That is this stuff. Oh, there's another header tab. Okay, we need to get these how it works guys left aligned. Great. Nice, okay. The whole thing needs some spacing on the bottom. So let's look at that as compared to this. We're gonna have to ignore the font faces being wrong, but it looks like this spacing is about right, relatively speaking. We need some below the H1. And again, this is gonna be a little funky because we've got the wrong typeface in place. That's good, and actually these should be left aligned too. Nice, okay. So we can just put how it works. We can have text align left. What do we think? Nice. That is so much better. Okay. Featured courses has the wrong background color. Easy to fix. There's also another tab coming our way. Less easy to fix, but the beauty. Oh boy. The beauty of React is that we can take that tab and turn it into a component. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Let's start by getting this background color set. So first of all, I'm going to go to theme. I'm going to grab the name of that color, which I didn't know offhand. We're going to do var. Oops. We're going to do var dash dash. All of that. All of that. Do I see it anywhere else? Yep. Okay. Any other hex codes in here? 999. That looks specific to this page. We can let that be. And we're going to go into featured course. We're going to give that a background color. Right, that is featured course needs a background color. So a couple of things need to happen. That needs to come out of this container. We need to give that a CSS tweak to give it a background color. So that would be here pretty much. So we're going to grab a box, put that here. Just paste that business into there. That actually, I believe, will work. We have to close this out with a box. Come on. Okay. Got a bit of a gap here because this has a top margin that should be padding. Please, 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 please. Okay. Why is my title? Why does it have a background color? Because I was trying to mess with the tabs for this at one point. No, actually that doesn't even have a tab, right? Right. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Oh, I see. It's because of this that I just messed up. Okay. Well, we're gonna leave that. This is now gonna be a margin. margin -2 m 3 -4 m. Okay. All right, with any luck, that should look like that. It does, but this is broken. Needs some padding on the bottom or something like that too. But there's going to be a tab there. But we're making progress here. So what needs to be done is I need to kill, because I know I'm going to get rid of that. I'll walk through it in a couple of steps here. Let me close some things. In the featured courses section, if I grab a, just like I did on the homepage here, or sorry, on the how it works, right? If I grab this and put a container around it, that's all well and good. What I need to do is just recreate this container with a container of our very own, which does all the max width-theory that we need. I've just been kind of lazy on stream today. But you'll see then it conforms nicely. We have a nice grid. We've got our tab back. We need to fill in this hero, but again, that's a moving target, so I didn't want to spend any time on that. There needs to be some padding here, and then also this find work needs to go inside of a tab. So we will work on componentizing that tab probably on our next stream, which actually I think will be a little challenging. And then things are gonna, like, that's it for the homepage. We will have buttoned it up completely. Ooh, actually I need to think about this cookie thing too. I haven't done that yet. For the new site, that's funny. I hadn't noticed that until now. Probably because I pretty much always accept that. But you can see how this is really, 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 really close to done. And in some ways better than it was. Easier to maintain, certainly. Yeah, this is going to be great. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to say homepage is checked off the list of things I need to do. And it's been cool having y'all hang out for this too. So it's time to end the stream. I'm done for the day. I'm starting to lose my voice. My throat hurts, all that stuff. My brain is fried, but that's always the case these days. If you've been hanging out today, I really appreciate it. You can chase me down on Twitter at Irreverent Mike, same as my Twitch, Irreverent Mike, and I will be back same time next week, and I think we'll pick up this homepage work then. Hopefully I'll have figured out what's gone on with these typefaces between here and there, and we can keep doing the thing. So thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys next week. Y'all have yourselves a good afternoon, and be kind to yourself and others.